right. I do believe we are going live on YouTube. This is episode 92, I do believe, of the On the Hump podcast. Joining me as always, we got Nate Rucker and Bobby Bless, Reggie Funches. He may pop in, I'm not sure, but of course, he's always with us whenever we do these shows, in spirit. And he is with us, physically as well. But we always like to say he's with us, as far as spirit is concerned, because he's always giving us different topics and things like that to discuss, even when he can't be here on the show. But we have not been on the show in a hot minute, but we want to thank everybody who stuck beside us and has been watching Lions football. Week one left a lot to be desired, but then it seems like we got back on track.
Be stealing my shit. Don't be stealing my shit. Don't be stealing
Listen,
my shit.
you know what? After what you did to me tonight, Bobby, which we ain't gonna talk about on the radio, we'll leave people guessing. But that's the least I can do is steal your taglines. But anyway, before we go any further, though, I want to ask the most important question we get to every single show. We'll start off with Nate. Nate, toss it to Bobby. Nate, how's it going, man?
Man, it's good, dog. We happy to be back. It's been a minute. Everything else is copacetic. And again, good job, Bobby. Love you, brother.
Bobby, how's it going?
I'm doing well.
Woo!
Amongst friends, I hope. But anyway, I'm doing good, man. We ain't did the podcast in a minute. I got in the group the other day crying like, man, when we gonna do a podcast? When we gonna do a podcast? So my brothers we got it together this week for sure. But the plan is definitely to be doing more, but we just got caught up with that real life shit, adulting. It's hard out here. Hey, Elijah, it's hard out here on these streets, ain't
You know what? Believe me, I learned tonight. That's for sure. So, you know what? I'm eating my meals just a little bit slower. I'm, hugging a little bit tighter. I'm just enjoying my freedom. So, hopefully that continues to be the case. We'll see. We'll see. It's hard out here for a pimp. Anyway, with
Oh,
that in
damn.
mind,
Well, damn.
let's go ahead and go to. Let's go to see. I want to leave people guessing, you know what I mean? And then people start talking about it, and there's really nothing to talk about.
Well,
Okay,
damn.
okay. All right.
Gotta give him something. Anyway, week one against the Packers. Bobby, I have to imagine that was hard in your household. It was hard for me because my dad's a Packers fan, but I know your wife is a Packer fan. So tell us what you were going through week one, and then your thoughts of the guys these last couple weeks.
Man, I was going through whoop John Morton ass syndrome. Fuck, I was so bad at the damn offensive coordinator. Boy, you was making lives hard that day. But that's what it was, man. Shit, but you know what it got me thinking though, and I really hate to even say it, backtracking is, memory is 2020, you know what I mean? Revisionist history says you, Elijah, wanted them to practice in the preseason. When they came out week one, that's the first thing I could think of. Elijah said they need to practice, and obviously showed. So I'm with you. They at least need to do a half in the preseason next year, because I think that did had a big part of us not hitting the ground running. Because that's basically how I see it now. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, it was rough, but whew, I guess I'm strong. I guess I'm strong. What's up, Nate? Go ahead. I can't. I'm so past that, man.
Look, I'm like, for real, honestly, week one was just a perfect storm for the Packers. That's all. They had just got Micah. You know what I mean? You get Micah Parsons. You done did all this crap. Y'all got us coming in. Y'all got y'all hyper, all that. Opening night. It was just a perfect storm for the Packers. Like I say, our starters not playing during the preseason, so it was just literally one of the perfect storm things. Um, and they just had to get a feel for it. I can't even say it was really Morton, because our offensive line they was forgetting who to block.
Yeah, they was whack. They was so whack.
Like, dog.
They was so
it
whack.
was just one of those things, man.
Man,
But,
hey, Nate, just real quick, I went through that. I was going through the all 22 film. I said, man, you know what? Fuck that shit. I ain't even about to watch this shit no more. It had me so mad, man. They was blocking each other. They was blocking each other. Two people was blocking one person. One dude just stood there like, oh man, these.
Listen though, Casper didn't get a single sack against us. We're out there blocking every ghost. You know what I mean?
Man, listen, that shit was stupid, man.
I mean, they did what they had to do. I mean, to get everything. And since then, 3-game winning streak. You know, highest scoring offense in the league, like we normally are.
And Goff haven't been sacked. Goff haven't been sacked since either.
In 3 weeks he hasn't been, and Myles Garrett was in town, as Stephen A. Smith so eloquently put it.
Yeah, I did see that today.
Like you say, zero sacks. I mean, running game's looking good. We're putting up 30 plus a game. You know, you can't be mad about it. You know, so everything was all right, man. Eli.
So I have a couple things that are Lions related to discuss, but I also wanted to talk about something that's on my t-shirt tonight. The Downtown Showdown. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see that, the Downtown Showdown. So, with the Downtown Showdown, that was a high school football game, and I'm going to long story short it. But basically the Massena Raiders, which is the team that I cover on the radio, every single week, they have a rival in St. Lawrence Central, and they're only 12 miles apart from each other. They've been battling on the gridiron since 1962. And so back in 2015, I started calling the game Downtown Showdown. That was something that I came up with. And at the radio station this year, we came up with a 17-inch GOAT trophy to give out to the winning team, a golden GOAT trophy.
Dope.
So what was really cool about that was people really got into it. I found a local t-shirt company here in Massena called Brick Tees. And what they did was they did a red shirt for Massena and a navy blue shirt for St. Lawrence Central. I got to have both shirts, which was really cool. But basically, if you bought a navy blue shirt, 50% of those proceeds would go to the St. Lawrence Central team. If you bought a red shirt, 50% of those proceeds would go to the Massena team.
You got that started?
Yeah. So
you did that?
So what ended up happening was through the t-shirt sales, we raised, I think it was like $600 for the Massena football team and like $300, close to $400 for the St. Lawrence Central team. And then a day before the game, I get a phone call from MBT Bank, which I know for a lot of people watching, that doesn't really mean anything, but they're a local bank. I get a phone call from them and they say, here's what we want to do. We're going to give a donation of $500 in the name of the winning team to a charity of their choice.
Oh, that's sweet.
So for Massena, it was the Police Activities League. And for St. Lawrence Central, it was an organization that buys supplies and helps make sure that folks who are, or I should say students with autism, have what they need to be able to get the most out of their education. They work within our school districts. And so the game happened for St. Lawrence Central. You know, they ended up losing 41-0, but they've been kind of struggling as of the last couple of years. But what was really cool was at the end of the game, I got to give out the trophy. We got to do a check presentation at halftime for the t-shirt money. And then MBT Bank came up to me right as the game was ending and said, well, because of how hard both teams played, we're going to give a $500 donation in honor of the Massena Raiders to the Police Activities League. And we're also going to give a $500 donation in the other team's name to the charity they chose. So overall, this little high school football game up here in Northern New York was able to generate like $2,000 when you really consider it, because it was $500 for the Police Activities League that was raised, $500 for autism awareness, and then about $1,000 split between the two teams for the t-shirts. So that was really cool, and I wanted to share that with everybody because you know, when you get a chance to make an impact like that, you know, it's really cool. And for me, I kind of felt like a point guard because I wasn't the one necessarily doing everything, but I was connecting the people that were and saying, okay, let's do this, let's try this. And I think that game's only going to grow in size and in spectacle probably as the years go on. But the kids love the GOAT trophy. It was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. That
And
trophy.
and like I said, it was a real blessing. And then yesterday I got to do my 2000th radio show up here in Messina. So I've done 2000 shows now as a morning radio DJ, and I was very excited about that. Very blessed to be able to hit that goal. And obviously, we here on the podcast, we're getting ready to come up on our own goal of 100 shows here 8 shows from now. So we'll have to figure out what we're doing for that. But
Campaign.
as far as my thoughts on the Lions, week one, that was a rough one. That was a straight up rough one. And again, I equate that to the fact that we did not play really any of our starters during the preseason. It really was questionable to me why we wouldn't have, why we didn't do that. I get you don't want to get anybody hurt, but at the same time, I mean, what sucks about that week one loss is it's a divisional game. It's not a warm up game. Not to say that there are any warm up games in the NFL unless you're playing the Bengals without Joe Burrow. That's pretty much a warm up game.
Say that.
But that was a divisional game. We really needed that one, and then we didn't show up and play our best ball. But so far, we're exactly where we want to be. We're first place in the division. We're 3-1. And oh, by the way, for me, I have an extra special thing I get to celebrate, and that is my Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets are undefeated. They are 5-0 on the year. Haynes King, who I've been talking about here on this program for the last 2 years, Haynes King is being talked about as a Heisman candidate, the quarterback for Georgia Tech. And life is good football wise, in my humble opinion, at this moment. So I really like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing from the Lions as well. Jahmyr Gibbs looks like he's becoming more of the featured back, which is what we expected. But David Montgomery still also putting in that work. Jameson Williams, he seems a little frustrated, but he's not pouting. He's just saying, hey, I want to make plays for this team. And so far, everybody that we've tried to get under contract, we've been able to do that, knock on wood. But I did not think we were going to get that JMO deal done like they did.
Taking
And
discounts.
pretty cool. So
They're taking discounts. They ain't trying to. They want to be here. So.
And also the teams that everybody warned us about, at least so far, aren't really playing their best football. I mean, everybody was so high in the Washington Commanders, and they've turned out to be, well, kind of mediocre, at least out the gate anyway. But we'll see what happens, obviously, as the season progresses. Eagles still look tough. I think that's going to be a team that we have to watch out for later down the road. But like I said, I'm happy with where we are right now. Obviously, though, that week one loss, I really hope that doesn't come back to bite us in the ass. But I do think that we got helped out a little bit, maybe not in the division, but I think with the overall playoff picture, that Green Bay had an ugly tie this past weekend. Because we all know ties, generally speaking, hurt you when it comes to playoff seeding. So
It
Dallas,
make it funny. It make it funny, but it's a lot of cases I've seen it help.
but Dallas may have done us a favor there by not losing but not winning either. So we'll see what happens. But
Counting on Dallas to do anything right is fucking trivial.
And of course, I had mentioned to people, get ready for Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland. And, now they've went from Flacco. Now they're going to start Gabriel. I don't think that's going to last very long. So that, eventually Shedeur is going to be in there, I do believe. So, and of course, I will admit now, because it's over with now, Hendon Hooker obviously did not pan out, and it sucks. It's unfortunate. It does happen, though. Sometimes you get somebody who on paper has all the tools, and either they can't recover from the injury they had, or they just can't translate. So we'll see what happens with him in Carolina, I believe is where he is. But and not putting a whole lot of stock in social media, but the man hasn't even changed his profile photo to a Carolina Panthers uniform. So obviously wish him the best, but I don't know if he'll ever be a starting quarterback in the NFL. We'll have to wait and see on that. But for Lions fans, I know that chapter is done, and we'll see what happens in the future. I will say, I would love to see Haynes King in a Detroit Lions uniform, assuming that things continue on for him the way they are, because I think he is a Dan Campbell type quarterback. He is a leader. And, Georgia Tech looking very, very good this year. But to get back to the Lions, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I've been in and out, enjoying life and enjoying these wins as they start to compile. But as far as the Lions are concerned, though, our next opponent, let me get to that here.
The Bungles.
It looks like the Bengals, actually, after I was
Yeah, the Bungles. We got
The
them
Bungles.
right.
425 Cincinnati. So, I mean, obviously they don't have Joe Burrow. So, Nate, I'll go over to you. What do you think?
We even with Joe Burrow, we still should drop 35 on the Bengals. I mean, the Bungles, whatever the fuck you want to call them, they could. It doesn't matter. They're like I say, the Bengals are what the Bengals are. Now they're even worse. I think last game, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins combined for 5 catches, like for under 60 yards. I don't even know who their quarterback is. That's just how much I give two shits about the Bungles. Like it's just another one of them Ohio teams that I really just don't care about. It's something about them Ohio squads, man. I just don't get it. Whether it's a Suckeye, a Bungle, a Brown, Rockets are okay. The Rockets are okay. So, Bobby, it's all right. I'm going to give you one. But the rest of them are trash. In the words of Bubba, trash. Just trash.
Dub is funny too.
So I think this should be one where Jared Goff gets his rhythm back. Looking for upwards of 70% completion.
Yeah, he was about 80% or something I seen somewhere.
Well, yeah, but last game he was off. I think he was like 16 for like 21, 16 for 27.
Oh, that might was the week
Yeah,
before.
he had under 180 yards passing. So I really look for this game for them to really just exploit the hell out of Cincinnati. Even if we don't put up 35, which we should, I don't think the Bengals can remotely score. They may score. I mean, because for some reason our team don't really get going till after we get scored on, and then like, oh yeah, all right, well I guess we are playing, so I guess we are going to play now, and then they get to it. I know they have tackle problems, and our boy Aiden has been looking pretty good since he got that first.
Who you telling, boy? He's been balling.
He's getting back in shape. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to chase Jamar Chase, and then T. Higgins being 6'4", 6'5".
Man, them boy, they checked out. I seen the Chase the other night.
So Terrion Arnold's really going to have to.
Man, I hope he just get and stay healthy. Fuck him. He irritates the fuck out of me.
I mean, but like I say, man.
Oh my God, he do.
People want to be on Terrion, but if people like Kelvin Shepherd say, he's the only one that's on the island.
Well, so I want to dive into that a little bit here because I know we don't have a ton of time left in tonight's program, but Nate, I really want to hear from you, man, because I was a little bit taken back by the fact that people were talking about Terrion Arnold. Now, admittedly,
Dude. Hold on, before you go there, I'm a defend them people because I am them people. That motherfucker always holding, man. He always holding, man. He holds he too handsy, man.
But my thing
every time. Go ahead.
No. So my thing was, like I said, I've been in and out, right? I've been in and out watching football, as much as I can, but also I'm not catching every single play. So for me, I'm seeing a lot of the highlights. I'm seeing a lot of the articles being written and things like that, and we're winning. We're winning, and it's almost like we're trying to find something to be upset about. And for me, I'm looking at but hear me out, Bobby. If you're talking about penalties, that does make sense to me why that would be irritating to watch our star cornerback, who is supposed to be our star cornerback, getting flagged a lot. I understand that. But I'm not seeing a lot of highlights of Terrion Arnold getting completely out of position or getting, mossed in the end zone a lot. So that's why I'm looking at it like, wait a minute, what's the problem? So Nate, I want to go to you. You're our defensive coordinator. What are people, and I'm gonna say like Bobby, but what are people
Please.
like Bobby seeing? And what is your defense of Terrion Arnold if you have one, being that he is, I believe, a second-year player?
Yeah. So here's my thing. Being a former wide receiver, former corner, it's cornerback, regardless what people want to believe, corner is the hardest position to learn. It is the hardest position to transition, especially when you're talking about coming from college, going into the NFL. You've been thrown right into the fire. And then the way the Lions play defense, the Lions play roughly 10% zone. They're 90% man. And then the thing of the matter is they play a lot of cover one. Sometimes they play cover zero. So for people who don't know what cover one is, basically you have one deep safety who is basically watching that deep half of the football field. So this is why you always have Brian Branch in the box and Kirby Joseph deep. Now, what that means is one of these two corners are going to be on the island. They're going to be one-on-one majority of the time. And this is what people have to realize. When you don't have a pass rush at all, or when your pass rush isn't getting there, try chasing a baby around for 30 seconds and see how you really get your hands on a baby.
Yep.
You're talking about some of the best athletes in the world. You're talking about size, speed, and you're running from one end of the field to the other consistently. Terrion Arnold does not come out. He's on the field. He plays roughly 70% of the snaps. So he's not even coming out of the game roughly. You know what I mean? There's guys who stay on the field who get breathers. He doesn't get a breather. And he still's on the field. He never comes off. So yes, there are going to be at times where certain penalties may be magnified, depending on the timing of it. We get it. But I can ask you this. How many touchdowns has Terrion given up?
Bobby, how many?
Shit, none, because he a hold their ass.
So think about it. So think about it.
Is it?
Okay. So here's the thing about it. So if I get beat, regardless, or if I've been chasing this guy around for 5-6 seconds, now he's open, correct? So
Yeah.
would you rather me grab this guy or just go ahead and let him score?
Now, I'll hop in right here. As a former coach, I told my guys, you fucking hold that motherfucker like you love him, like you want to invite him over for Thanksgiving dinner and some after meal activities. You
Right.
hold on, baby. Hold on.
The defensive line is as much as a helpmate as the cornerback is to the defensive line. Because
before you get going, Nate, before you get to going, Johnny Cochran, I would like for you to all right, so 2 questions real quick.
Mm-hmm.
One, do you think all of Terrion Arnold's penalty is because of the pass rush? And I'm gonna answer it for you. No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, how many of them is on him?
I would say roughly. It's playing cornerback is iffy because, like even the last one he had last game where he held him, but he was also being.
It was a couple that's bullshit.
Remember,
it's a couple that's bullshit.
Now, there's always the offensive player is always going to be given the leeway.
Okay.
So if we're both we're jostling for position. You've seen wide receivers put their hand in the DB's face mask and create separation.
Yeah, I've seen it. Right.
So even on the one with Terrion, yeah, you got beat, but the penalty, he's back, he's caught up, and I'm being stiff armed off. So if I'm being stiff armed off,
my natural reaction is going to be to grab something. One, I can't see. So it's one of those things where they say, hey, it's not the first guy who's caught, it's always the second guy. But again, it all depends on the wide receiver. You talking about vets that he's going against that are going to get the gifts of the call because he's a second year corner, young guy. So you're going against a D Hop. A D Hop, we know who he is, we know what he is, we know what he's done in the league. So he's going to get majority of the flags. No, he's been in the league more. He's familiar with the refs. The refs know what he do. They know what he don't do. Okay, here's a younger corner, youngin. You got to gain your stripes. So no, you're not going to get all these calls. Yes, he is handsy, but again, it's also due to the fact of you get that 5 yard to jam your receiver to keep in contact with your receiver. Mm-hmm. Now, you also when you're going down when they're going down the field, there's hand fighting from both sides. It's always going to be hand fighting from both sides. And so it just really just depends on how the referee is calling it. And again, you're talking about being left on an island as a second-year player, a second-year corner with no over-the-top help. He's like the one, the deep pass he gave up, he did. That one he used bad technique because he was trying to use the sideline as his help and got caught with the double move and got spent all the way around. Again, it happens to the best corners. It's happened to everybody. But he's not as bad as people want to make it out. He's not Nevin Lawson. He's had 3 interceptions taken back.
I didn't go Nevin Lawson.
But I'm saying, like he's had 3 interceptions that have been taken away because of penalties on our defense, on our defensive line, where he will already have 3 picks.
Then he go celebrate. Then he come back and get a penalty. I seen that bullshit. So
hey, you know what? Listen, but it's again, he's letting you know he's here, he's working. But when you think about Darius Slay didn't really take off to his 3rd and 4th year.
But Darius Slay wasn't getting on them flags though. He was getting burnt.
Darius Slay, but remember the Lions ran zone.
Right. Yeah.
You're talking about 1-on-1 for over half the game. And the thing of the matter is, even if you look at the penalties, he only gives up 2 to 3 catches a game. And he may get 2 penalties. I'm going to take that. I will take that all day long.
He have gotten more than 2 penalties each game this year, Nate.
So Nate,
actually, let's see.
I want to
look it up. Shit, I don't give a fuck.
You know, I'm about to look.
Hey, but just make sure the ones that get declined is counted too.
So Nate, I want to ask you a question if I can while you're looking stuff up.
I hear you.
Okay. So you were talking earlier about how like it's all in how the ref calls it, and I obviously agree with that. This is a 2-part question. Part 1 is it plausible that a referee will be looking at a play, and you have to imagine that they probably have watched other football games, outside of the one they're officiating in that current moment. Is it plausible to say that they'll look at a player, and if it's at all close, they'll go, okay, I know what this player is capable of. I know this player 9 times out of 10 is going to make that catch. And because they didn't, I'm going to throw this flag.
Absolutely.
I love
we've seen
it. I love y'all.
Because it's more likely that the other guy must have done something wrong, because again, this guy makes every single catch and this time he didn't. So
so think about I've got another one for you.
Okay.
Then you also can be a case where referees have already created their own thought process of what type of player you are. Okay. Even regardless, even before anything happens, they already can say, okay, for instance, we all knew how Ndamukong Suh was. We knew he was vicious. We knew he played hard. We knew he played fast. We knew Ndamukong would damn near tear your quarterback head off, right?
Right.
Y'all remember when he shoved Jay Cutler from the back, literally pushed him down, and they gave him a personal foul because they said he gave him a forearm shiver.
Yeah, I
Right.
remember that
But
on
that's
Monday
just what
Night
I'm
Football.
saying. So it happens those instances where these referees, because they are human, have already created in their mind that this guy right here is going to create, it's going to have penalties no matter what. And they don't even look at the offensive guy. They're solely looking at Terrion, which
Okay.
is why I say the second guy is always called.
Okay, second part of my question. Now, this was offered when I was coaching semi-pro football, so I have to imagine it's offered at every level of football, high school up. But one of the things they would offer us, the team would have to pay for it, but they offered us the ability to have officials at practice so that
Mhm.
our guys could hear from the officials as far as, okay, what, as an official, what are you guys looking at? Where are some areas that maybe we could get away with something, maybe? Again, being able to, in a way, have referees at practice and be able to know where your boundaries are. Where most definitely we're going to call a flag on that, or you know what, maybe you can do a little more over here on the side. So with that, my question is, with those referees being at practice, what can Terrion Arnold do to lessen the penalties? Because the thing is, and I think I get where Bobby's coming from. And Bobby, if you're not coming from here, let me know. But I think what Bobby's saying is he does not want a situation where we're in a playoff game, or God forbid, we're in the Super Bowl, and the other team's driving on their last drive of the game to try to, get in field goal range, and we give up a 15-yarder because you know what? Hey, at least we didn't give up the touchdown. Well, in that scenario, it don't matter
Exactly,
because
Elijah. That's what I'm
now,
saying. It
now
comes a
they're in
point
field
where
goal
them
range
flags
You
is
know what you
getting burnt.
do? Well, guess what? The way you get away from that is it's simple. That means you have to play more man than you do. You have to play more zone than you do man.
Help over the top.
And because that's the other thing, like, we've talked about this in years past, obviously, when we had a different defensive coordinator in Aaron Glenn, he kind of stuck to his guns on the systems he had and then things he was doing. And I will say before him, Matt Patricia, it seemed like he'd never even knew another defense. It was always man. But
Amen.
with Shepard, do you see him as the type of defensive coordinator that will make an adjustment to help his guy, or is he just going to expect Terry and Arnold to eventually
No,
be
no,
able
no,
to
no.
pull things
He's
off?
going to continue. That's what he said. He's asking a lot of Terrion, and he's not giving Terrion no help. He's letting Terrion prove himself. You want to be the number one corner? Okay, be number one corner. We're going to give you these assignments. I trust in you that you can hold out on that island long enough for our defensive pass rush to get there. And that's the way they live in it.
So,
So
so, so putting on your defensive coordinator hat for a minute, Nate, which
mhm,
I don't think you ever take that hat off, but
I
put,
don't.
putting on that defensive coordinator hat, it's your first year as a defensive coordinator. We have
Mhm,
a shot to win the whole damn thing. We still
mhm.
have a shot to win the whole damn thing. At what point and for what reason would you move away from Terran Arnold or actually change your scheme a little bit to get him more help? Like, at what point would you say, okay, love you to pieces, man, and maybe you will eventually get there, but you are not going to be the damn reason why we don't get where we're going? What stage does that happen? What game does that happen, in your humble opinion, where you have to, I don't want to say pull the plug, but you have to make some adjustments?
Um,
Now,
if I consistently hear your name called all game, so if you're giving up catches plus yards and also penalties, then I say, okay, we have to make some changes. So, but right now in 4 games this year, he's had 4 total penalties, 3 of them declined, and 1 accepted. So
so
he
that's 8
had
penalties, right?
no. He's got four total penalties.
No,
Three
I'm
of them,
counting all of them. Every time that damn
no,
flag
I
went in
know.
the
So
air,
listen, no, listen. He has 4 penalties. 3 of them have been declined. Only 1 has been accepted. He had 2 against Cleveland, 1 against Chicago, 1 against Baltimore.
And he
Only
being burnt,
one,
so.
but again, only 1 penalty has been accepted out of the 4. So keep in mind, he's given up. He's had 4 total penalties. 1 has been accepted. He has yet to give up. So wait a minute. He has yet to yield 100 yards receiving to any wide receiver.
That ain't him though. That ain't all on him right there.
No, so I'm talking about him in coverage. So in coverage.
Would you decline the penalty if the man caught the ball anyway?
So listen, no, but this is what I'm counting, Bobby. They have all his. He has 4 total penalties. 4. Only 3 have been declined. 1 has been accepted. He's only been flagged 4 times.
Hey, so Nate, what you giving him for the season so far? What grade you giving him for the season?
I give him a C.
Okay.
I give him a C.
He ain't flunking, but he going to tutoring.
No, so think about this. So out of 16 games last year, right? Well, no, we had 17, right?
17, yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. So 17 games, he had 11 penalties in 17 games.
But we were so hurt. There was other motherfuckers to throw on besides him.
No, but this is what I'm saying though. But this is what I want you to understand, Bobby, is that yes, his name is being called because where he was drafted.
Yeah, and I see why Nick Saban ass was yelling at his ass too. I noticed that.
So even with that, you're looking at last year he had 11 penalties. He had.
Yeah, but I'm not saying bench. I'm not saying
all 11.
I'm not saying benching though.
No,
but
so
I ain't
every
saying
penalty,
benching, though.
Every penalty last year that Terrion got was accepted. So in 2 years, he's had 12 accepted penalties. And he's had 3 of them because he's had 3 decline penalties. So 15 total penalties in 2 years.
I mean, I would venture to say, and I'm literally pulling this out of thin air, Nate. Bobby, I mean, I would venture to say that Brian Branch has more penalties than Terrion.
He does.
But Brian Branch is he a more different. He wearing many hats though.
Yeah,
he wearing many hats though.
But Brian Branch is not getting the bad end of the. I don't want to say bad end of the fan base.
Brian Branch is making
more plays.
I mean, I get that, but again, we're talking. So how about this? So Cam Sutton, Cam Sutton last year with Detroit had a total.
He ain't nowhere on none of A level, Nate. I ain't
saying right, but that's what I'm saying. That Cam Sutton had 5. Cam Sutton had 5 interceptions. He had 5. Cam Sutton did have 5 interceptions, but he had 17 penalties. Carlton Davis had 14 penalties. So what I'm saying is that I get where everybody's coming from, and it's highlighted simply because he's a first-round pick. I get it. But Cam Sutton and Carlton Davis were getting penalties as well as giving up touchdowns and yards. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's a difference. If I'm going to hold you, okay, if I get beat on this one play and I hold you. That's fine. Because the rest of the game, you got 1 catch on me. Now, granted, it's you can't pick the timing and the spot when you do it. Like, we all call Eric Ebron a drive killer. So Terrion, his penalties have been where they be, it may be on 3rd down, where it's done kept a drive going, which increases the aggravation. You see what I'm saying? So it's the timing of it. So I get it. I get the timing. We all hate the timing, but when you look at the overall game, what can you really say?
So
Nothing.
Nate, so to wrap up that conversation, because we do got to get to some of our closing remarks here, but I just want to make sure I have you right. So if you were the defensive coordinator, the point in which you would actually start to be concerned would be if you're seeing Terry and Arnold get burnt, get beat,
Mhm.
or getting flagged, like the
Yeah,
combination.
you know what I mean. Yes, you like that means to me that your technique is bad. Like I told people, Jeff Okuda had bad technique. I told people this
He's sorry as fuck.
the moment when he was at Ohio State and they was talking about it, I told people then, Jeff Okuda had bad technique and he would not make it here. Terrion Arnold does not have bad technique.
Okay.
His technique is good. His feet is good. What it is him learning how to shadow.
Them damn hands.
And you know the hand fighting now is normal. They that's gonna happen because you being a wide receiver, you want to create as much separation as you can. And
He
so the
needs some
wide
boxing
receivers are
gloves. Practice with
holding.
some damn boxing gloves on.
I mean, the wide receivers are like pass interference is like holding on the offensive line. You can literally call it every play.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You can call offensive pass interference and defensive pass interference every single play. It's the same way with holding. You can call it every single play if we really want to get down to the nitty gritty. You see what I'm saying? Because there's always some hand fighting somewhere. There's always some t-shirt grabbing. If they want to nitpick, they can, but it'll go both ways. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But the way that they're ragging on Terrion is not. It's crazy that the kid still hasn't lost confidence. He still believes in his ability. And this is why Kelvin Shepherd continually has put him on the island. Like you don't see when you see Kirby Joseph in the middle of the field, he's always helping the other side. Either that or like he's covering that deep hash in the middle. When Terrion got beat, there was nobody over there because he's always dolo. So that's where you have to really understand, like he may get these penalties here and there, but his ability and what they see is enough for them not to give him help. If he was that bad, you would have Kirby Joseph over the top of him every play. Every play. But he's not. So yeah, it's aggravating for when it does happen. But you have to, if you're going to microscope it, then you have to microscope the whole thing.
Yeah, I get where Nate's coming from. So again, folks, as you're watching the game this week, look to see if Terrion Arnold's going to get burnt, beat, or penalized. And if he is, then you already know that our group chat going to be going off the hook.
I'm a roast.
And,
I'm a roast. He gonna be burnt. Hey, say it for me, Elijah. He leaves
some milk. He needs some milk.
No, he leaves a lot to be fucking desired.
Yeah, that's what Bobby
Fuck
said.
out of here.
Now, Bobby, two things. Number one, you have a halo tonight. Because of how you're wearing your headphones, it's hitting the one spot on your green screen where it makes it look like you got a halo. You got like a heavenly.
I always got this halo.
But anyway,
he's got some fucking horns. He ain't got no damn halo.
Yeah.
He's got horns on his head.
But Bobby, I'm gonna let you go first with closing remarks. But before you do your closing remark, really tonight's show was about the topic you brought up, my friend. So, how did Nate convince you to give Terrion maybe a little bit more love and affection?
Nah,
or
I just want to know.
Think about what Nate said tonight.
Man, I love that. I'm gonna ignore that shit, but I'm not gonna ignore. I'm not gonna ignore the fact that if I ever do wrong, I know who's gonna be in my corner for me, baby. You
already know it.
You gonna find a way, ain't you, boy?
You already know it. Listen.
Hey, listen.
Chucky. Hey, look, Chucky.
He gonna get that halo put on me. You feel me?
Hey, look, Chucky and Andy, we friends to the end.
No, but
we came in this together.
Yeah. Hey, but see, all I would say was, it's like you know how when the mama about to whoop you, and then they say something to convince her to not to put the belt up. I'm gonna put the belt up this week. God damn it. No, but you know, Nate, even though I don't agree, I definitely understood where he's coming from when it makes sense. So all he did was give him what they call a 1 week pardon, and I'm gonna reanalyze what the fuck I see again. Nate did throw some shit out there to fog my glasses. You see how they took them off. So I'm
he just better not make me look stupid.
Yeah, he better, boy, Nate.
He better not make me look stupid. Hey, look, my win-loss record's pretty good. He better not get out here, man, and get torched.
Boy,
if Ja'Marr Chase get 200 yards and he gets 3 penalties, oh my God, Nate,
hey Nate, boy, you got him a bond. That's for damn sure. You got him a bond. Lord. Oh,
I'm in the bond, Terrion. I'm in the bond.
But other than that, as far as my final closing, man, you know I love doing the podcast with you guys. It's kind of hard. The Lions winning and not talking to y'all. That's the hardest part, you know.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, but hey, I ain't changed. I'm still buying hats. So that brought me one day. So
you
good
got
job.
the one on your head. That's the one you bought.
No, this is the draft hat I've been had. This old thing. No, but anyway. No, I got me a hat. It's on the page. Where is that? Let me go grab it real quick. Let me grab it just hot second. Real quick.
All right, now everybody start talking about Bobby. I'm just kidding.
I didn't even check our comments. I wonder how many comments we have.
He said, I can hear you.
I can hear you, motherfuckers.
I just want to see how many comments, see how many people tuned in for us tonight. I wonder how many of our faithful.
I mean, hopefully, quite. You know what? Some of them probably said, "Wait a minute."
Man, I just hope my boy Bill Locker watch because he always
shared it everywhere. So hopefully,
he always checking on us, Nate. You know that he always check on us. Bill, that's the guy right there.
So Bobby's gonna show his hat as soon as he's done.
Yeah, I got it.
Deposit to Nate.
This bitch sweet.
It's a nice one.
Hell yeah. Oops, this even blocked me out. Yeah,
I like that one, Bobby.
Yeah.
That one giving Miami Vice type vibes.
Yeah, this bitch is dope. It's a snapback. It's yeah, that bitch okay. I like this one.
Oh, I have a hat question for Bobby. Not Lions related. Well, you know what? We can make it Lions related. Why not? Because maybe I'm not the only person that had this happen to. So this hat that's on my head right now, Bobby Bless gave me, as everybody knows, it's my favorite hat. But I also have a hat that is a Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets hat. And the difference is this one, obviously has the buttons in the back of it that I can do to adjust the tightness, right, of the hat. My Georgia Tech one, though, does not have that. It is a fitted hat, but there's nothing in the back to make it tighter or loosen.
Oh, you need to shrink it, which is saying kind of like.
And yeah, because like it'll sit on my ears and it's like uncomfortable, but I love the hat. So Bobby, and you know what? Like I said, I'm glad I figured this out here right before we went off the air. But for anybody having that problem, I know I did see on TikTok people put like paper towels in the rim to like make it tighter or something like that. But is there a different way?
Yeah. Actually, it is. What you do is you shrink it. So what you want to do is you want to wet it. Make sure you want to like dip it in water, right? And then you want to air dry it with heat. So like with a blow dryer. You don't want to dry it. You don't want to dry it like in a dryer moving around because that'll dent the hats up, wrinkle it. But if you soak the damn thing and then you air dry it with heat, it'll shrink.
Okay. And then obviously hopefully you shrink it to the correct size for your head, right?
Well, shit. It depends how much you soak it. If you leave it in water and it's like real wet, then it might shrink more than you want it to. But if you just like dip it and air dry it, you know what I mean? You don't want to leave it under water for like 10 seconds. Just dip it in the water. But the main thing you want to do is when you drying it, don't like dry it in the standstill. You don't want to have it moving around and all that other shit. Or like what I used to do was like I didn't even use a hair dryer. I used to dip the hat, go in the backyard and put it in the part of the sun where I know the sun gonna be hitting it for a long, long time and let it dry that way.
Okay.
Too. But if you want to do it in like a quick pinch, you might want to just air dry it with a blow dryer. But if you want to just leave it in the sun, and then it'll shrink, and then that way the colors won't fade, and the hat. Main thing that you don't want the hat beat up because hats when they wet they get wrinkled real easy.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, Bobby. Like I said, I'm going to put that into practice in my own life, and
and then it's not going to shrink a lot though. It's not going to shrink a lot because it ain't like unless you got it from a Nike sweatshop, it ain't going to shrink real fast. But if you got like a regular licensed hat, it won't shrink fast.
Okay.
But if you got one of the more bootleg ass cheap ones, that motherfucker might be.
No. This one came right from Georgia Tech, which is why I love it. But I want to make sure that I'm able to wear it comfortably.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with bootleg cheap ones. It's only matter if you like it. Just remember.
Nate, closing remarks, man.
Well, first of all, let's I want to tell our guy Ward of Four Horsemen, thank you for tuning in. I did check the comments.
Yeah.
He was with us all show.
He always check in.
Yeah, he definitely checked in with us, man. He said, thank you, missed you guys. So, man, we know he got his notification bell on. He seen us go live and he popped in, man. So again, man, we want to thank you for all the support, man, all your comments, everything. Also, guess what? Bobby, he was with me on Terrion. So that's another reason. But anyway.
It's cool. It's cool. Like I said. I even get look. I'm his motherfucker. I'm his motherfucking probation officer.
Nate, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add Terrion Arnold to my prayer list this weekend.
You better.
Because I'm telling you right now, if Ja'Marr Chase goes off for 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the game is so close that we end up losing on a field goal after a 15-yard penalty.
Okay.
I promise you, Bobby's just gonna be looking at the screen.
That was enough.
Bobby ain't gonna say shit next
up. So I'm gonna give y'all
you for an hour and a half. I'm telling you.
So
they got us favored.
It's true, Bobby. You know it's true. You just gonna
they got us
favored for an hour
by 9.5. So we're gonna take the over on this. We should definitely beat these guys by like 20. So I'm taking the over on the 9.5 points. And so again, we should go ahead and take care of business. This should be 4-game winning streak. But the one thing I do want to see is the pass rusher that everybody wants us to get, Trey Hendrickson. I want to see him go up against Panay.
He ain't gonna do shit.
Trey ain't no joke though. He get after it, but again,
yeah, he do.
It's gonna be good. Just another.
If you stop Myles Garrett, you better be able to stop Hendrickson, whatever the fuck he is.
I mean, they kept Jared Goff upright. They had him running around. He did have to run, which is kind of scary.
But Goff was moving in that thing though. Goff was in that pocket. Goff was moving in that thing, sidestepping, and you got my quarterback fucked up.
Hey, listen, but
balling.
Hey, but the one thing he better not ever try to do is throw on the run because he threw a duck right in the damn dirt.
Yeah,
he better set his feet. Don't you?
I thought he should have ran on that though. I thought he should have ran on that. I did. I think he got scared late.
But
I think he got scared late.
He know he runs a 9.140. He said, "Oh no, Rich Eisen can beat Jared Goff. Jared, no, he can't run. It is what it is."
Damn, man, what the fuck? Rich Eisen though? Oh,
listen,
no,
you remember Jared vertical? He when Amon jumped in the stands, he struggled. He's got a 1-inch vertical.
I thought he had no Achilles. I ain't got no Achilles and none of that shit, boy.
White man can't jump.
Yeah, that's what my friend inboxed me too, man. That's a show what he told me. Like, it is true. I said, what? White man can't jump? I said, God damn. They had to push him up. That wall ain't even that high, man.
That wall so low.
Yeah, that was bad, Nate. You ain't shit for that.
Hey, my bad. It popped in my head. No, man. But again,
that was dope.
y'all know, man, it's just good to be back. Good to get back to doing what we do. Giving our perspective on what we see, giving our listeners something to come back and look to. Again, back with my brothers. We missing Reg, but the four horsemen gonna be back together like always. So again, love, peace, happiness, hair grease, and soul. So, Eli.
Well, as the white representative, I just want to say that you're
Wait
right.
a minute, hold up. You white?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Believe it or not. Anyway,
Man, God
I
damn.
never knew.
I learn something every day.
I know.
God damn.
Yeah. I can confirm about the jumping thing. Anyway, moving on. So I just want to say again, and Nate already said it, Bobby said it too. Again, thank you guys. If y'all have subscribed to this channel, you've hung with us. I know the last 2 months we really haven't had that much activity, really no activity happening on the YouTube channel. But thank you for staying subscribed. Thank you for hanging with us, and we definitely will be doing an episode. I want to say next week. That'll be
same time, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because I think my schedule is free. So,
but like I said, I just want to say thank you. Again, we know you got a lot of options these days because everybody wants to do a Lions podcast. Whenever they're playing well.
Ain't that crazy?
That just is what.
Man, we was 3-13 with it, wasn't we?
But again, thank you for sticking around. We appreciate it. And as I always usually end these episodes, I'll say the same thing I usually do. If you come across a situation this week where your skill set can make things a little bit better, make sure you do that. Even if it's something small, like opening the door for somebody or having eye contact with a cashier. I promise you, those little things, they add up. They mean a lot because you never know what the other person's going through, and your act of kindness. I hate to put it this way, it sounds like a sad thought, but for some people, it's a reality. Your act of kindness may be the only kindness they receive that day. So again, get out there, make a difference. I know that sounds cliche, but I think if everybody did that just a little bit more, we'd be in a whole lot better of a place. So with all that being said, hey, be good.
Brian Burns, the dog, Nate. He a dog. Brian Burns, he a dog.
We knew that.
He a dog.
We knew that.
He a dog.
We knew that. We should be able to get. Hey, listen, we can get Kayvon from over there too, though.
Yeah, he a dog. Well, all right, Elijah. Love you, brother.
Be good to yourself. Be good to others in that order. We'll talk to y'all soon.